Are you ready to finish 2025 aligned and step into 2026 unstoppable?
No excuses today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast.
And now your hosts, Jen O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast. You can get all of our show notes, including our new exciting download, more on that in a moment, for episode 384 at WBNLpodcast.com. You can even go to WBNLcoaching.com or wanderingbutnotlost.com. That'll direct you right over to our podcast and all the show notes. So, Matt, I talked to you about this, and this is why we're doing this podcast today. I'm all in. Matt's all in. Are you all in is the question. Let's see after we talk about it today. But there is a trend on social media, particularly TikTok. I'm seeing it on Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook, but I've seen it on Instagram, big time on TikTok. People are talking about the great lock-in 2025. When I first saw it, I'm like, what do you mean lock-in? Like you're going to lock yourself in somewhere? But as I looked at it, it's basically this premise. Use the last 4 months of the year. So it was trending, obviously, like the day before, but September 1. So it doesn't matter that it's not September 1 if you're listening to this. You jump in. It's just all about whenever you start between now and the end of the year. But the idea is take the last 4 months of the year to reset completely, lock in on your discipline, release any patterns, stuff that doesn't serve you anymore, and commit to becoming that best self. Now, what's so exciting about this is that you'll see if you follow it online, that the trend really is mostly about people taking control of their physical self, their mental self, their habits, their, it's on the personal side, and I'm all for it. Right. But I also feel, and what I'm doing personally is, it's all about establishing some non-negotiables for, you can't, if you're not working on your mindset and your health and all that, their business is going to reflect how you are, bottom line. So for me, it's a personal non-negotiable, 120 days until the end of the year, and a business. And I want to share what that is. My non-negotiables right up front are, it's not going to be a surprise to anybody who follows us or Matt, is to do my morning routine, but I broke it down. So my morning routine, it's one thing I check off, but it's composed of my routine, which is hydrate. It's simple. Hydrate, meditation, and movement. Okay. And it encompasses a variety of that. And my one business thing that if I know I do every day for the next however many days are left in the year, and that is to publish content, one video for my real estate business, and at least one video, and we're certainly committed to more now, but one video a day for WBNL coaching. Those are my non-negotiables. Are you in on this?
Am I in? I'm in.
All right. We'll get you to share yours in a little bit here. So when I saw this, I'm like, I'm in. And then I was like, we need to just make this this is what we've been talking about for a year on WBNL coaching.
That's right.
So we turned it into the WBNL 120-day lock-in challenge. Okay. It says 120 days, but you get the deal. Don't beat yourself up if it's 100 days or it's 90 days. It doesn't matter. Even if you did 30 days, it's great.
Yeah.
So what is the lock-in challenge? You want to tell them about that, and you can share more about that whenever it's appropriate.
Let's chat about a little what it is. It's really a social movement where people are saying no more waiting until January 1st. That's what it's really about, because it's so much like, it gets to the end of the year. Let's do a resolution. Let's be done with it by the 18th of January. Right. Exactly. This is let's preload that. Let's be all ready to go when January comes around, which is really, really awesome. Use the last 4 months to release what no longer serves us, build better habits, and align with who we want to be. And like Jan said, this can be in your mindset, but can also be for your business. I mean, you can really add, you literally can fill in the blanks and fill the voids, whatever it's going to be to make you align so you can go into 2026 unstoppable.
And here's the key. Do not make this a mega checklist of 10 things you're committed to doing every day. It's literally like one thing. One thing for personal, one thing for business. Or it can just be one thing for business, whatever it is. It could be a project. Whatever it is, it's not 20 things. It's not 10 things. I love this. We love it. But we wanted to create some structure around it because that is what we are good at. And that's why we created this guided 120-day framework, which includes monthly themes and vows and daily practices. We're going to break that all down for you here and kind of tell you, get you a little excited, giving you some structure so that you can take it and modify it in any way you want. That's what we like to do here at WBNL Coaching. So it's not about intensity, everybody. It's about consistency. You don't have to push harder. You don't have to, do that crazy hustle and knock yourself out every day because you think you have to do all these things on your list. It's just about consistency. Focus on one aligned action done daily. It's going to shift everything. If you've been listening to us, this is literally what we talk about week after week, month after month. Now we're just putting a little challenge around it. Right, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so powerful right now because September through December is the perfect window. 4 months is long enough to create the real lasting change that you need to go into 2026 unstoppable, but it's short enough to actually feel doable.
Exactly. And as Matt said, we don't believe in resolutions. We always talk about that. We're just doing this a little bit earlier. We always talk about finishing the year strong, especially for business people, real estate or whatever. So many people coast between some portion of the last quarter, and then they have to ramp up in the new year, and it takes you a quarter. I fell into this trap last year, and it took several months into the new year before we ramped up our real estate business. So I am committed to not doing that. And it starts with the consistency now, right? So you're locking into, what is the structure. I guess the best way I want to say this is when you put a loose structure, don't make it feel like it's controlling. Some people I don't want all it, but structure really does create freedom. If you have a structure that works for you, then you're free. You don't have all these crazy thoughts running around in your head, which is the day I had yesterday where I was just like, got nothing done. Okay. I needed the guardrails up. I needed some structure, which Matt helped me do because he created the structure for me for our content. And I felt better because I was all over the place, people.
I can literally hear your brain spiraling, John O'Brien. It's really, really interesting. It's like, I need to help. How can I help? I mean, I'm thinking that inside my head. I'm like, I got to help her somehow because
but listen, and so I couldn't articulate what wasn't firing for me on trying to figure out, the structure around our content at WBNL. Like we were really committing to doing more content and I was just getting overwhelmed. And so Matt created a structure, but then I had to hesitate. Okay, you have to walk me through that. But I just was having a day where I wasn't clear. Oh. And here's the point. When you have some structure and when you commit to really simple daily habits, you really liberate yourself and you will have more energy, focus, and clarity. And that's what started happening for me. But by the time I got it all done, I was like, okay, I got to start fresh tomorrow because my brain is fried. And here we are. So It is all good. So let's break down what we have in this. I want to bring it up while I talk about it, Matt,
Sure.
For those watching. So we have our lock-in challenge is structured with a theme and a couple other things for each month. So starting September, the theme is regulation and consistency. This month is all about regulating your nervous system and building the foundation. So, we have things, you commit to what it is you're going to do, but meditation, prayer, just sitting in stillness for 5 minutes a day is powerful. Hydration, meaning just drink water. Man, I'm drinking so much water. That is totally changing everything for me. Some kind of movement, move your body, whatever that is for you. Take a walk, stretch, go to the gym. Maybe journaling or reading, focus on showing up daily, even in small ways. So regulation and consistency, that's where it starts. Then in October, we're going to talk about voice and visibility, shifting to your expression, your voice, speaking your truth, affirmations, journaling out loud, sharing your progress, even creating content. If you're ready to jump into the content world, your voice carries power and frequency. So use it. And listen, your voice carries power and frequency. So be aware of what you're saying. Okay. Because is it negative? Is it a positive? Is it moving you toward what you want or away from what you really want? Very powerful. We're all very powerful. And then we go into November, Matt and I's favorite month, where we're going to talk about gratitude, but we're going to add a piece this year on November. So we're going to do some podcasts around some of these themes too, to sort of really help, support those of you that are going along on the challenge with us. We need to talk about shadow work. Okay. That's just basically doing the work. You can't jump from, okay, I'm going to be all aligned and have a great morning routine and just forget that I still have some issues and patterns and old beliefs.
Right.
If you haven't fully processed that stuff and let it come up and work with it, release it, thank it for serving what it did for the time, because even everything that you've gone through in your life has served a purpose for you. But there are probably, for all of us, something some little thing, maybe some big thing that is really not serving you anymore. And if you were to really release it, whatever that is for you, then man, what would your life look like?
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose not to, it's okay. You're just still kind of hanging there and things get sabotaged and you keep repeating the cycles. So we're going to do shadow and gratitude. This is where that resistance shows up. Triggers, I guess, are the big thing. Things can, if you still have something to deal with, if you get triggered over wherever that is.
Yeah.
If something triggers you, that's the thing to work on. Okay. Self-doubt. We're going to help you with that. Instead of running, you meet the shadow. Gratitude is how you shift the frequency, and it fuels your transformation. And then in December, it's joy and celebration, finishing up the year. We're going to anchor in that joy. We're going to talk about play and creativity and connection and celebrating your progress and finishing the year and with the energy that you want to carry into 2026. So there you have it. That's our breakdown.
Totally awesome. What I love about about this whole program is really the progression that you take through the process. So you start with stability, you build your voice, you integrate your shadows, and work on that, and you add more gratitude, and then you finish with joy. So it's just a perfect ending to kind of, wrap up 2025. And then when you've been through that whole process, like we keep saying, you're going to step into 2026 in a whole different situation than you would have been if, after the second glass of champagne on the last day of the year, you decided what you were going to do as your resolution in January. So there you go. You'll be embodied, and you'll have embodied the version of yourself that you actually want to carry forward.
Now,
which is really pretty awesome. So how you actually put this all together, well, we already kind of showed you on the download, and we're going to go back to that in just a second here, right? Because it's super simple. So I do suggest you go over to WBNL coaching.com or wanderingwithoutloss.com and download our free 120-day lock-in tracker. It explains what you're supposed to do. It gives you examples along the way, but it also is a place where you can actually track your results, which is so huge, because that's what you need to do. If you're not tracking this, you're not going to be able. You won't succeed, because you'll still be out kind of flailing around. The great thing about this is, if you want to print this out and handwrite it and check and do all that, absolutely, it's a PDF. Print it out, knock yourself out. It's also a writable PDF. So if you want to do this online without actually, killing trees, you can do this online. I can tell you from building this out, I
was just going to say this, Matt. Let me say it for you. I have a plea to those of you that love us and follow us. Matt spent hours making that PDF fillable. He told me there were like 700 spots that he had to do in that PDF so that it will make it convenient for you, dear listeners and followers of WBNL. So there you go. Go show us some love by downloading this download and using it.
Thank you, Jan, for that little PSA.
Come on, I was ready for that to come in, because I was like, what? How much did you have to do to make that fillable? All right. Anyway,
so we've talked about what kind of what the structure is. And Jen kind of went through that. So the theme for September. So let's use September as our example here. So the theme for September is regulation and consistency. So it gives you a little explanation once again. Jen just talked about it, but here in your guide, kind of what that actually means. Now your job is to come in and to select your vow, your mantra, your focus, and then the other things. So here's the thing. We have given you little examples here and how you can fill this out. By no means is this what you have to use as your vow or your focus or your ideas or any of this stuff. It's just an idea of something that actually kind of corresponds to what our theme is. Like Jan mentioned, you can use this in your personal life, your mindset, your business, however you want to actually personally use this. That's how you're going to go in and you're going to shape these out. So this first page is going to give you all the different examples here. The second page of this, and this doesn't look writable on here, but it is when you pull the PDF up, is where you're actually going to make your statements. My September vow is, and you'll write that in there. My September mantra is, and you'll write it in. And then every week, you're going to ask yourself, and this is something that the process you're going to go on as the time goes on, but you're going to release something this week. You're going to commit to something new every week, and you're going to pick a guide word for your week. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, but once you get into it, it's kind of fun, and it gives you something that you can actually refer to as the time goes on. So that's one of your worksheets. The next worksheet is your daily tracker. Now, we talked about the non-negotiables that you want to pick and things that you really want to focus on actually doing every single day of the month. And Jan had mentioned hydration, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's whatever it is. We want you to pick 3 to 5 things. Don't pick more than that. Don't just pick one. I mean, I guess you could pick one thing if you really want to, but the sweet spot is 3 to 5 different things. So we've given you five spots here to write in your negotiable right here on the line. And then every single day of the month, you can go through the tracker and check off whether you actually accomplished that goal. So super easy. It's all in one spot. It's not overwhelming. And it will keep you in alignment and on track as you go through the month. So that's how you can use
one quick thing, a great way to use that, like how I'm using it. So morning routine is the thing I'm committed to, but it consists of 4 things or 3 things, right? Hydration, basically 3 things: hydration, the meditation, and movement. So I have those 3 things written there, and then I have the create content, one for both sides of 2 businesses, and there's my 5 things as an example. Okay.
So anyway, so that we have this tracker set up to where every month is set up exactly the same way. So you don't have to go back and recopy things or erase things or whatever. You have a tracker for every single month all the way through. And then once you get down to December 31st, we do have a couple questions at the end that we want you to go through. And that's like, what did you release during this time? What did you lock in? Who have you become? How have you changed? What has happened? How have you morphed, I guess, over that, the process between now and the end of the year? And then what do you want to carry forward into 2026? So it's like the big wrap up as you go through the process. So it's all right there for you. We ask along the way, if you would be so kind, if you're doing this, go ahead and go online and then tag us with the hashtag WBNL Lock-In Challenge. Tell us how you're doing. Tell us about the frustrations you might be having, any successes that you're having along the way, and really basically how you're feeling as you're moving through the process. Because if you do this, here's the thing. If you're focusing on improving yourself, whether it be in your business or your mindset or your whatever, or all of it, you're going to feel empowered and stronger and more alive as the time goes on. There's no way that can happen. That's just the way it works whenever you start focusing on things. So you will feel the shift and you will feel the change. And if you are doing it consistently and it becomes a part of your routine, that's the goal. The goal is not to do this for 120 days and not do it anymore. It's like exercising for a month and then stop exercising. What's that going to do, right? The goal is to lock it in as you're into your routine, and then going forward, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to do the little check off because you just get up and do your morning routine, right?
It just becomes a mindset and a lifestyle shift that becomes your new normal. That's what we're talking about here. Because when you make this commitment and share it with us, because you can build community and it's great, or do it with a small group. It'll keep you inspired, because by December 31st, you won't just be planning to live your best life in 2026.
That's right.
You'll already be living it. So join us, lock in, everyone. Let's finish the year stronger together. Best year yet coming up in 2026. Right, Matt?
Love it.
All right, everybody. That's it. That's short and sweet. Let's go. Go get the download. Show Matt some love. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.